All right, let's talk about how to use dimensional analysis and what it is. So it is amazing, first of all, and it is a method of problem solving where you use conversion factors to cancel out units. And sometimes it may seem like it's making the question harder than it actually is, and you could have done it in your head. But trust me on this one, that just learn how to do it even if it seems like you don't need it, because then with longer, more complicated problems, you've had the practice on the easier ones and it will save your life. All right, so first at the top, there are just a lot of conversions listed. And then let's go through the special tips because one isn't filled in. We need to take notes. Always start conversion problems by writing the given number and the units. This counts as a top number versus a bottom number. You'll see what I mean by that. If there are units like miles per hour, that means the number of miles traveled for 1 hour. So if the problem starts with 75 miles per hour, you would write it like this: 75 miles on the top over 1 hour on the bottom, and then you would start your conversions. Okay? When you have everything written, always multiply all the numbers on the top, then multiply all the numbers on the bottom, and take the top divided by the bottom. If you're good with calculators, you can do this all at once, but you must remember to use parentheses for the numbers on the bottom so it calculates correctly. To determine your final units, draw slashes through the units that are canceled out to see what's left over. So these are going to make a whole lot more sense when we actually start doing examples. So let's start with number 1. Convert 99 millimeters to inches. So first special tip was write out what you've got. So we've got 94 millimeters. It's a top number. Okay, now I want to get millimeters into something that's closer to inches. So we're going to look at our choices up here. I see millimeters into centimeters. I see millimeters into meters. And that's all I see for millimeters. Okay, well, I want to get this closer to inches. I do see another conversion here that once I've got millimeters into centimeters, now I can get centimeters into inches. So we write out 10 goes with millimeters. So I'm using this one here, equals 1 centimeter. This is sort of like a sideways equal sign. And when you slash out units, it's diagonal. Top and bottom cancel. So if we stopped right here, we could do 94 times 1 divided by 10, and we would have converted this into centimeters. But we're not going to stop because this problem asks us to go all the way to inches. So we need another set of parentheses. And now we want to get centimeters into inches. And there's a conversion for this. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. I can slash out centimeters because they're on the top and the bottom. Now I want to multiply everything on the top. 94 times 1 times 1 divided by 10 times 2.54. That's the same as 94 divided by 25.4. Answer, I'm grabbing my calculator to type this in. That comes out to be 3.7 inches. Final answer. Again, you could have probably done this in your head the way that you used to do conversions, but we're practicing this technique that will come into play in later units mostly. and also in physics class next year or this year if you're in physics, and in college and beyond. So again, stick with it and let's keep doing some more practice. What if we want to convert 5.1 meters into feet? Okay, well, let's see if we can find something. It's nice if you can do it all in one, like find a meters to feet. I don't see that, but I do see meters into inches. And then I know inches to feet, 12 inches in a foot. So there's more than one way to do these problems sometimes, by the way. So let's use this one that I found. 1 meter equals 39.37 inches. Remember, this is like a sideways equal sign. And we line it up because we want meters to be on the top and the bottom. Just making sure I got that number right. And then I want inches on the bottom because I want that to cancel out. And I want to get it into feet. So I know 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So I set it up. Now I'm going to multiply everything on the top. 5.1 times 39.37 times 1, which is not really changing anything, but I'm just going to be thorough. And then divided by 1 times 12. Take a second, punch it into your calculator. Make sure you get the same as me. I got 17 feet. And you can always check your units should be whatever's left over, whatever did not get crossed off. Okay. This one, number 3, is a little bit trickier because we have units on the top and bottom that need to be converted. So we have 34 meters for every 1 second. And we've got to convert this into miles per hour. So you can start with either. It doesn't really matter. Since I'm already familiar with seconds to minutes, 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. I'm going to do that. And now I want minutes to cancel out. So I'm going to write on the top. I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So now my minutes are on the top and bottom. They cancel out. Now, if I stopped here and multiplied across the top and divided by the bottom, I would end up with meters per hour. But that's not what I want because I want miles per hour. So now I've got to figure out how to get meters into something that's closer to miles. So let's look. Let's see. Meters into, there's a couple ways you could do this. Meters into kilometers. And then you can go kilometers into miles. Or you could go meters into inches, inches into feet, and then feet into miles. Okay, if we look at this chart here, 1 meter, 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. I know that because the base is meters and kilometers is 1, 2, 3 to the left. So that means 1, 2, 3, 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. Okay, so I'm going to do that. 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. So now my meters are canceled out. And then I've got one more conversion here. Kilometers into miles. So 1.6 kilometers is equal to 1 mile. Those are going to cancel out and I'm going to be left with miles per hour. So I've got a lot of multiplying to do. So multiply everything on the top. 34 times 60 times 60 times 1 times 1 divided by everything on the bottom. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1,000 times 1.6. And I'm going to punch that into my calculator. And I get 77 miles per hour. Final answer. All right, next, convert 5 days to seconds. So 5.0 days. Again, this is one where I'm really tempted to just use my old method of just doing it in my head or punching it in my calculator, but force yourself to use this technique because, again, it will come in handy later when it's not so obvious. So this is just practice. So I know that one day is 24 hours, and that's getting me closer to seconds. I know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. I know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Minutes cancel out, so I'm going to be left with seconds. Multiply everything on the top and divide by everything on the bottom. And it's actually just all ones on the bottom. So that's kind of nice. And then I get 430,000 seconds. So that's all dimensional analysis is. It's just using this technique of writing things on the top and the bottom and canceling out your units to solve problems. In the homework assignment, Fun with Dimensional Analysis, there will be some chemistry applications as well. All right, thank you. The key is more practice.